Alright, welcome back to More Than Peaches Gaming. I'm your host, Mune. Today we're doing Temple of Tiamat. It's one of the last things I need to make a tutorial for, but it should go without much say that this is definitely one of the more complex dungeons or skirmishes or trials or whatever the hell you like to call it. Mainly because it takes a while to get into it, because it requires the most amount of people to actually form in a single unit, and it takes a while. Like we sat there for close to an hour trying to just form a party. So that's just something that I'm gonna go ahead and grab this, the red dragon soul gem. So that's the first thing you need to do, is you need to defeat the enemies that are there. I need to get out of the red because it's gonna hurt. And I'm gonna stay in. I'm gonna work over here. Why not? They need me. Gotta protect the dreamers. So things that you might want to do is jump that up, equip the gem into your hotbar. That way it has easy access. And you protect the three clerics. This one is the dreamer of Sehanin. I believe that's what her name is. Okay. One quick note, because it requires so many people, it's not because you take a lot of damage and are going to die necessarily. It takes a lot of people because Tiamat has so much health. So keep that in mind when you're choosing a party. Sometimes you might have to recruit people from zone chat, looking for a group, or even your alliance, if you're in it, or your guild. And even then, it still took us about an hour doing all three of those. You generally want to walk in here with a party formation of at least 3 clerics, which we managed to do somehow. And then you also want to make sure that you have enough time to actually run it. Okay? If you notice, when we walked in here, we had about 25 minutes. So it is a long dungeon trial where you just defend them, go out, hit the enemies, defend these 3 clerics, and then you defeat the Tiamat heads. So we're going to go through that as soon as I get unstuck. I'm going to deal with these enemies. Looks like the other 2 are ready to go. Okay, looks like all 3 are good. And I do not know which one we're starting at. I'm going to assume that it is the far one. So best to get on your mount and rush to the one where everybody else is going. So usually start at green. I believe that's which one this is. Nope, black. Black is always the first one, my bad. And you want to get the heads down as much as possible, preferably killing them. But what will happen is you'll have a set amount of time to actually be able to do these. So you want to make sure that they count. You're in there, you do your damage, and then you get to the next spot. The objective is, when you get to these heads, you need to make sure you have the corresponding gem. Like I have red. Oops. And oh gee. Come on. Red is the middle one, I believe. Oops. It's this one down here. So, always a good plan to have it. So I used it. So the redhead will go down, which is a really awkward way of putting it. Okay, so most people are already heading over to this one. I'm going to wait a second because it takes a while for to get up here. You don't want to walk in the red if you do not have the protection. Whoa, and I almost jumped right off the edge. And we have 13 seconds to defeat the last head, which is quite impressive, actually. Two, one. Okay, so we failed to kill all 5 heads in one go, but that's fine. We go back to the part where we defend the clerics, and then the objective to do here thereafter is to, well, start from the head that we did not kill and go back through them. Now that they have less health, it should be a lot easier. It's such a quick process once you start it. Unfortunately, during this week's campaign, it did not get up to tier 4. It only got up to tier 3. I believe it was at like 83%. I'll take a look after this to show you specifically. And it's kind of disappointing that it only got up that high. I was really hoping that it would get all the way up to 100%. That way I could show you more of the rewards. There was a situation, I think it was like a couple of weeks ago, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, where it got up to 100% and people were absolutely loving it. So, because the orb of Tiamat was dropping a lot, and people were just really happy to finally get something good. I myself did not participate in Tiamat then, mainly because I had other things going on in my life and was not awake when most people were running it. I think I had like a job interview or something like that, or work. Oops, don't want to walk in that. So you see most people are getting frozen from being in there. You still want to be able to take on the enemies and not be frozen yourself. Last thing you need is to be frozen. Okay, so we are about at the cap here, and we are getting ready to fight the heads. Alright, so gotta wait a second. Gee. Okay, so the objectives again are defeat all the heads. Okay, you notice that most of the heads are already injured really bad except for the white one. So alright, so did a great job here. We did defeat the white head. So everybody's rushing over to the blue head. Which this thing's not going to last very long. It's going to last probably about a few seconds. And then everybody needs to rush over to the red head.
Only the soul of a dragon can protect you from Tiamat's breath.
Again, you want to make sure that you're using your special thingy, your red soul, to take down the your proper dragon, which mine was red. So sometimes people dictate like what they anticipate to do beforehand, I myself did not converse with anybody because I knew exactly what I was going to do. But for good teamwork, you need to make sure that you talk to your comrades and are basically knowing exactly what you're doing. And so far, we're doing really awesome. I'm going to go ahead and revive people if they're doing anything. So, looks like we did defeat Tiamat. Tiamat is defeated. Alright, awesome. And that's pretty much all of Tiamat is you go and defeat the people, and then you go and, oh, okay, you protect the clerics, and then you go up and defeat the heads. And you get all the way until the time runs out, because after you don't defeat the heads, it always goes back to the clerics. Okay, so what you saw is I did horrible damage. Nobody cared. I didn't even make top list of most damage taken, or downs, or even field magic, or killing enemies. So I didn't make the top list of anything. I got some crappy Linu's Favor, Elemental Alliance, War Cuirass, Cachet of the Dragon Queen, some seals, a lesser resonance stone. I'm just probably going to give that away. The shard of Fire Burst enchantment, which I have absolutely no use for, so I'll probably just sell it. Nothing really special there. Again, I was going to show you where this sat. Yeah, it's at 85%, so not up there yet. So with only, what was that time? 3 hours and 37 minutes remaining. I doubt that it's going to get up to 100%. I've been waiting all day for it to go up like 10%, and it's just not been happening. So this requires a Dragon Queen's Key. I do have quite a few of these, surprisingly. I have 14. I just stocked up on them a while back, and I just didn't. So nothing really all that special here. Yeah, this is 100 Dragon Horde coins, a rank 5 enchantment, more seals, and a Resonance Stone. Again, probably just going to give away the Resonance Stone, and the Draconic enchantment's probably going to go straight in my coffer, because I don't care. So, that is Tiamat in a nutshell. Hopefully this was useful. Hopefully it was, helpful to someone. When you're done, you just go back out the way, the door that you came in on with. But yeah, that is Tiamat. Not much to it. It requires a item level, I believe, of 1700. I went in there with mostly people who were 2,900, I think, was about the average, maybe 3,000. A lot of really experienced people. When we look at the queue, there's a lot of people in here. We lost quite a few while we were doing that. That's fine. I was only planning on running it once. So if this video was helpful, and maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, or you just wanted to see somebody run Tiamat, who knows, check out one of my other videos. Maybe those will be as useful as this one, or entertaining. Some people think it's really funny when I do some of these things, but again, I catch myself rambling on these videos, so thank you so much for watching.